So the MAGA Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, recently released January 6 Capitol security footage. Because in the MAGA conspiracy, January 6 was just a tourist attraction filled with FBI plans who instigated the violence. And the people who were actually convicted of crimes have been unjustly targeted and persecuted because the government has been weaponized. Looks like Mike Johnson delivered some remarks on the release of that footage. Let's check in.
Trust the American people to draw their own conclusions. They should not be dictated by some narrative and accept that as fact. So they can review the tapes themselves. We're going through a methodical process of releasing them as quickly as we can. As you know, we have to blur some of the faces of persons who participated in the events of that day because we don't want them to be retaliated against and to be charged by the DOJ and to have other concerns and problems. So that's a slow process to get it done. We're working steadily on it. We've hired additional personnel to do that. And all of those tapes ultimately at the end will be out so everybody can see them and draw their own conclusion. Let me go.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that you blurred people's faces, tampered with evidence because you don't want the Department of Justice to prosecute people who broke the law? Isn't that the opposite of law and order? Wait, but if it was a tourist attraction, why blur anybody's face at all? And if it was also FBI plants who were instigating the violence, wouldn't you want to know what they look like so you can go after them? So really, you're protecting the feds and Antifa who instigated the violence. I wonder how MAGA feels about that. And yet he claims to want to release all of this footage so that Americans can see for themselves the evidence and make up their minds. And yet you're going to cover up the evidence. Tell me you're trying to paint a narrative without telling me, Mike.